Once out of childhood, the adult, bold, fresh piece of humanity got around, visiting more than 70 countries, observing 4 wars up close and personal, meeting thousands of people, and having millions of laughs. So we'll take a look at some of that stuff in relation to important issues like war, peace, prosperity, and your daily life. Since millions of you listen to my bloviations on TV and radio, this book might provide some clarity, bonding, hate that word, and even some sympathy, although I don't seek it. Also, this audio program just might tee off some people even further. Either way, we'll have some fun. If you know my work, you might have figured out that I am not a philosopher or a dreamer. I do not live in a theoretical world or gain insights by attempting to read the thoughts of others. Instead, in line with the exhortations of Teddy Roosevelt, I embrace a strenuous life. My attitudes about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness have been formed by a multitude of unique occurrences that happen directly to me. Some of those events I will share with you, hoping that the sheer ego of the exercise will evaporate as you begin to understand how a doltish working-class kid from Levittown, Long Island, New York, has evolved into perhaps the most controversial journalist and commentator in the United States of America. I believe Sister Mary Lorana, who, by the way, is still alive and once sent me a very kind letter, is proud of me, although in truth the anguish I put her through can't ever be fully exorcised, even by a William Peter Blatty character. But there is no doubt that the way I think today has its roots in my traditional childhood home and in the strict Catholic schools I attended. Therefore, we'll take an incisive look at those influences, as well as other significant events in the life of O'Reilly, all with an eye toward convincing you that the point of view I bring to the world is worthy and might even help you in your life. For starters, it really all did begin in the mid-1950s when America's population was half what it is today. Hope, as well as the challenge of swift change, was in the air. The USA had survived the Great Depression, World War II, and the Korean War. Despite saber-rattling by the Soviet Union, things were looking up, and everyday life was fairly simple, at least compared to today. You worked, obeyed the law, cared for your family, looked out for your neighbors, and respected your country. At least that was the creed of the huge working class, which did most of the country's heavy lifting. That was the background of my family. My father, William O'Reilly Sr., had a decent job, bought a small house, and sired 2 kids. My mother, Ann O'Reilly, was an energetic stay-at-home mom because, had she not been, one of her kids would be in the penitentiary right now. Yes, that would be me. My younger sister, Janet, has always been a solid citizen, not at all fresh or bold. The nuns loved her.